Hello everyone and welcome to today's collective video. We are going to be reading the energy that you are sitting in, and we're going to kind of see if you're up for it in terms of still sitting with it, if you want to transmute it. Transmutation is something that human beings are so capable of. We just need to be aware of it. I have some decent experience personally for alchemizing, and I've really been open in terms of my spiritual journey. And these videos are for you individually to guide yourself through the spirit and the ego kind of fusing together, if you will, in a union compared to a restriction kind of basis. And this is a lot of changing your fear-based mindset perspective of yourself, of you thinking that you are less than, is because there's beliefs that other people be putting on you. And, we do that naturally in way to compete with ego v ego, when in reality, it's ego plus ego equals all egos. We're all the same in way of ego, what our ego wants for us. And something about how we grow up believing in different things and have different fear-based beliefs in us differently individually, where you think that you don't have the power, but the power is always within you. I really like to tune in personally on you specifically with not people around you, what they think of you, but what you think of yourself, and really, really helping your self-esteem just, shoot up, like you're going to outer space, you know what I mean? And it's first time ever. I'm getting kind of, what is it? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. It's coming. Guardians of the Galaxy, when they be going through and everything. I don't know, I'm getting in my mind someone going to outer space for the first time, realizing that there literally is alien races that are entirely from different planets, and it's real, sort of thing. So something about you not really going to outer space, in that whole realisticness, but you looking at life through an eye that is so different. And when I say eye, I mean your intuition, because that's the other thing that I really try to concentrate on, is how we can get you to be a little bit more intuitively guided and allowing yourself to save when it comes to, we make mistakes, we make, if you will, decisions that lead to failures in the moment, and those really are the building blocks to successes of your dreams come true, because you make that happen. You're the only one that can make your dreams happen for you. All right, I can make dreams happen, but they would be my dreams making it happen. When you act upon, you make it happen. And I hope I can guide you with this, so much so that you're like, okay, you know what? Let's go. Let's see what I can do in the world. Because absolutely, we're born the way we are. And of course, this is something that I love to really talk about too, in my personal life, and think about, is with fear. All right. It's something where the intuition is not scared of fear. Your ego is scared of fear. And your intuition is the wise part of you that is allowing you to step in way of maturely deciding where you previously immaturely reacted. You could think of it as maturely responding. And this is something where you realize that the control is always going to be within you with whatever you're doing in whatever moment. And this is something that I'm just going to always try to implement, that I hope you will take with you. I'm going to try to implement it more and more in my videos, because y'all, breakthroughs upon breakthroughs, that is within you. And it's always within you. And it's fear that's trying to control what really is supposed to be expanded. What imagination and the capability of the future being even more stronger. You got your logic decision making Now you got your intuitional decision making. If you can get both of those two in harmony of you in the moment as you mature through life and you gain the wisdom, you will be able to move effortlessly through outside chaos where you are not identifying as part of it, but you are helping around it in way of seeing as an outside perspective what there can be improvement on. And there's something about how you and your improvement literally is miracles. Like it's something about it, how open you are in your intuition. Your ideas are so miraculous that it's kind of like in the moment when you voice them. It's something, even though you're like maybe intimidated voicing it, the fact that you voice it in the first place is strong AF, because that, when you voice your opinion, you're voicing your truth. And when it comes to your truth, it's going to be way different from everyone else. So other people can like contradict, and they can seem as though they're controlling the conversation, the situation, but it's something about how what you bring up is so true to the point that whatever in turn of anyone else trying to persuade you to deter your truth to be more falsified for you, it's something about throughout time, as you continue to honor your truth, as you continue to raise your self-esteem and realizing how miraculous your intuitive decisions have been in guiding yourself through, that it's going to be like, oh yeah, the future, my dreams, absolutely. I need not worry about it because I know it's going to happen because I already have put in the effort. You've already started. You've already put in so much effort. It's absolutely going to happen because you're honest in this effort. You're honest in the action. You're honest in the way that you want to change. It's not change in way of ignoring, because ignorance is change, where you're allowing the fear to really kind of like, I don't know how else to say it, but it is something about, it's this ignorance in self, and we all do it. And there's the saying of ignorance is bliss. And once that like bliss kind of dissipates, if you will, you are revealed with the truth in way of how you yourself are interacting with your ego and interacting with your spirit, in the way of connecting to all of like spirit, all of creation. When it comes to the afterlife and the spirit realm, they have a lot of influence on us, like our ancestors. If you work with any deities, if you're even open to that area of life, which is death. Okay, after death, you know what I mean? So there's something about it where it's like, really, you have so much answers within you that it's just more so needing to allow yourself to trust what is within you. Even if it's uncomfortable, it's something about how even the weird, queasy things that you like feel, you think about, and you're like, I don't know about that. Trust that, okay? It's not something to immediately react on, because that would be more of a impulse, like an immature reaction. Allow yourself to just take a step back and like breathe, just ground yourself, remind yourself you are in control. But you're cutting the corners though. The reacting like pretty quick, that's cutting the corners, is what it's kind of pinpointing on. When it is that, and that's fair, because it's, when I bring this up, I want you also to forgive yourself if you feel shame and guilt throughout this, okay? This is not for me to do that to you at all. This is me to shine light where it's uncomfortable, but this is for your success, my friend, where you'll know yourself even more by seeing so much more of who you are right now, where even though it's uncomfortable, the love for yourself will allow you to understand that the uncomfortable is really needing security. So like the insecurities, the self-esteem that gets lowered, when you raise that, when you realize that insecurities are not relevant at all to your future, to the way that you act in the now, you're going to realize that you can drop it. You can forgive it, and you can give it to the afterlife, to the spirit realm, so that they can do whatever they need to do in terms of structuring of life and death and the cycle of life and death and existence. We have really cool parts to play in life. Like, I hope I'm waking you up to how cool you are in terms of how important you play in life. You play such an important life. Like, you play such an important life. You know what I mean? You're part of life, baby. Gonna eat, sleep, and breathe me out. Eat, sleep, and breathe. Definitely necessities in like the natural sense, in the sense of security. So that's 3 things I'm getting. That is what it is that will help you find the inner releases to the insecurity beliefs that you currently are believing in. That is something about getting yourself to realize that it's no big deal in terms of what you believe, because change, right? You can choose to change. That's where beliefs kind of restructure, is you choosing to change in the moment. Okay, so like right now you can be like, you know what, F it. That hasn't helped me yet, has it? No, it has not. Has it helped you? Has it? No. Like, me too. When I think about all the things I believed about myself, and I'm still going through them, because you're going through also other people, and they don't realize this too. Like, this is not really a very prominent thing that other people around the world are understanding about themselves. They're going to, though. You know what I mean? Because when it is that you are living life and you don't know the life that you're living, life outside of you will like give you kind of the understanding of the life that you're living in way. And it's also something about your physical body too. When you go through these different inner kind of restructurings and everything, your physical body is going to also change in the way of matching with the beliefs. So when you start to believe in high self-esteem beliefs, outside, you be looking a lot more youthful. When you believe in terms of the insecurity beliefs, outside, you be looking a lot more wrinkled, if you will. Now, of course, it is up to you in terms of how you want to go about this, because it's something about not cold turkeying, if you will, having to kind of come to awareness. I'm getting something about why it is in the very like root of it that you believe you're less than. The Voice. Isn't that like a show too? The Voice, like yeah, it's like, okay, couple things come to mind when I just thought of The Voice TV show. One, it's about singing. 2, it's about like someone who's like, if you will, others are like, that's a nobody. And they're like on stage and singing. It's up to them, I guess, in terms of their singing ability, quality, whatever. Because it's something about how singing, when someone is very confident in who they are in their voice, your voice literally gets stronger and more confident when you sing. That's something where you can really, if you work on your singing in front of other people, your self-esteem, I don't know how, but like for me personally, when I did karaoke, like I felt so much more accepted in society for some reason, even though karaoke, like when I would sing, it doesn't sound good, like it's not pitch perfect, but there's something about you just giving it a try when it comes to your authentic voice, when it comes to your opinion, when it comes to also showing other people that you've changed your beliefs when it comes to you, and how other people are able to and have the privilege of interacting with you and your energy and your identity of who you are in the moment. Whoa. When you're always taking sides, it always feels like life, you're competing with life, right? You're like, what the heck? I'm trying so hard to like coexist, but it's something about within you. Like, I'm telling you, y'all, I forget about this all the time because I get distracted outside myself personally, and I'm like, things spark up this like inner kind of uncomfortability, and it's something in my mind that I like kind of forget sometimes, that it's within me first that is like the seed of the uncomfortability. It's like the belief there's something about the past and the way you see yourself and how your power has been taken from you in way of self-autonomy. It's something that, if you haven't ever heard of the word self-autonomy, now this is like not the correct, like the exact definition, but it's something about you have a right of what happens to you in your body, and you have a right to voice and way of saying no. And it's something about other people have to respect you as well in way of that, where the self-autonomy was exploited from you, is what I'm getting. And this is something about how you are taking back, if you will, what was previously exploited from you when you were younger by people who are older. I'm getting like in your family, whoever raised you, whoever is more of a inspiration for you, if you will, where it's like in your future, you either want to be them or you want to be with them. You know what I mean? It's something about how that has really led you through all these different ways of feeling like you're less than, separating, realizing that your identity, who you are entirely, is whole. There's nothing more you need to change in way of being enough. You are enough. You always have been. And I'm so sorry that other people have made you believe that you are not good enough in terms of what you want to experience. Like, it's like they're trying to remind you. It's like, just whatever, you know, because also other people who are like that are forgetting about their own life. They're forgetting about what is the miracle of like communicating, speaking with one another. Because there is something about how it's like that saying of like, words can never hurt me or something like that. Oh, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Something about that, even just saying that to yourself in your head, aloud, whatever, when people are like that, will allow you to kind of send like a protective shield around you, if you will, like a bubble, an auric freaking bubble field, if you will, so that other people, in the way that they perceive life and the way they perceive you, is not influencing the truth of who you are in every single moment. And this is a challenge for you, my friend, is can you get to yourself in turn and in tune to being harmonious, of being the gift of who you are. Like the world, part of the world, really can't wait to be inspired by what you can bring to the table. It's something about knowing that what you bring to the table is just for you. And if anyone else picks up whatever they want around in turn of what you bring to the table, and they're like, thank you. It's something about how it's a gift. And so when you accept a gift, it's something about how would I put it? Everyone has their own responsibility and way of how they receive and how they give. And so this is really cool in way of catching yourself if you do get to that point, because same, like I get angry, I get frustrated, I get mad, and I turn on people. Like I turn on my loved ones, and it's something that I myself am working on when it comes to maturing in way of recognizing how powerful using and handling my anger, almost like the strength card in tarot, how powerful, you know, and in control one person is with oneself when it comes to the whole thing of in control with oneself. It's so incredible when you see someone who once was like socially anxious find comfort in being themselves, even if other people around them are being whatever and trying to contradict, this own person's truth, your own truth. You staying true to your truth is what is needed. And the more that you're able to do that and just kind of flow with life and just keep going on your own truth, the more you're able to show others the power of your own truth and honoring it and being like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do in life, duh. But not really. Like, I have such a sassy way right now where I'm just like, I need to like work on my sass, because when I hear myself, like just now, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm usually not sassy, but like, that's the thing, is like when you're usually not feeling the sass and you don't know how to handle yourself in the sass, if you will, you know what I mean? It's something about how this is the experience of learning how to allow my ego to also see like, ooh, bro, let's go back to the lessons of life and morals and ethics and trying to coexist with life, because it's something about wanting to make life comfortable for others, but it's something about how life is really uncomfortable in way of within you. It's totally fair. And I lose my mind tonight over you. Okay. So this definitely is in relation to romantic love. Okay, this is definitely in relation to something about honoring being like celibate, being dedicated towards committing in way of honoring your spirit in terms of the connection, especially with your intuition, and allowing yourself to gain the patience, okay? Gain the patience of peace, all right? Like, it's something that definitely, especially in turn of handling like an emotion like anger, peace is something where it's like a hot, I don't know, like a hot potato. Like anger is like a hot potato, and you want to hold it and you don't want to drop it, but it's so hot and it's so quick, you know what I mean? So something about right now, kind of when you have alone time, if you will, the eat, breathe, and sleep card comes out in way of practicing in the handling, right? Because it's something about how it's like every day is your chance to practice handling anger, handling what is within you that it might be out of control. That is out of control. That is totally, absolutely able to be in control. We just need your permission, and the action and way of choosing. So you do what you wanna do, right? You have like those intuitive nudges where you're like, I really want to reach out. There's something about it where you're like, I really want to reach out to someone. I really want to reveal my feelings. Like I want to reveal in turn, because it's something about how it's like play, like in turn of romance, recently going through realizing that people have been playing with you and people have been pulling, if you will, your emotional strings. And something about, oh my gosh, it just got in my mind the, what is it? Is it Just Dance? Or it's this one 80s movie where this gal like pulls a string from the ceiling, or like it's a bucket of water. She pulls the string and like a bucket of water or water falls on her. And it's something about how it's very similar to that, where it's like the splash of water is on purpose. I don't know if it's Just Dance, man. It's a good movie though. It's a really good movie. But it's this gal with the passion of dancing, and she's like a construction worker, and she has like a lifestyle where it's like her work is literally like construction, and it's like her passion is like dance. So there's very much so masculine kind of analytical, logistical energy. And then there's also the feminine, fluid, moving and flowing, and just, trying to be soft. So there's hard kind of energy and there's soft energy. So there's something about how for you trying to, if you will, have fun with the energy of what it is that you're presented with. So I'm getting that there is different ways for you to handle hard energy, if you will, and then there's different ways for you to handle soft energy. And this is going to be something where your life will be a lot more enjoyable. You yourself living life, you're like, I enjoy myself a lot more. It's because of those the self-esteem beliefs in terms of restructuring what insecurities you were previously telling yourself. You're like, okay, let's shine the positive light. And there's something about doing the work in way of writing down, I'm getting, or typing out, or speaking it into a phone, also with Braille as well. You know, it's so cool in way of like how everyone can like read, if you will, because there's something about like registering, if you will, inside of you, but on the outside, you either see it, you hear it, you feel it. It's like a sensation, if you will, of the five senses. Which kind of makes sense with the eat, sleep, and drink, or eat, sleep, and breathe. I don't know why, I just keep going back to this. It's almost as if this is like the most simple, this is the formula, if you will, where it's like, you have to ask yourself first, am I doing what I need to do for me, for my sense of security? And there's something about how you get really worked in the mind and you forget about the physical in way of eat, breathe, and sleep. And it's something about how your mind makes it really complex in the way of you have to keep working really hard in turn of matching with the outside for some reason. It's something about how allowing yourself in the very, very beginning of your day, the eat, breathe, and sleep. Where if you don't get a good night's rest the day previously or the night previously, allowing yourself just, I don't know, something about like on your lunch break or something, where it's like you eat, breathe, and sleep, but the sleep is more so resting, like meditation. You cut off the analytical, logistical, trying to understand the confusion of outside, where you're like, I do not know why people are this way to me. I'm trying to be honest, and they are clearly not honest. That's something that is not for you to ever figure out. Just release it, okay? Like, other people and the way they decide to be is not in your power of control. And it will like just drive you insane. And this is from my own experience, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh. I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel, please. I can't do this no more. Eat, breathe, and sleep like a baby, all right? So like treat yourself with so much care like you're a newborn baby. Cutting right into the bone. Kind of makes me think that's like the middle part of like your like your arm or your body. Kind of like with your arm, where it's like cutting right into the bone. Reminds me like going all the way through to the very root, to the very center of like, yeah, the insecurity belief. That it's kind of like contradicting, if you will, and you're like, you know, that belief doesn't feel very comfortable in way of me seeing myself that way. And there's something about how this is like, oh, wait a minute. Yo. Okay, hold up. Control in the moment. You take back control and you're like, you know what? No, I am enough in the moment for who I am, for who I know I am, that maybe no one else might. I'll just show them by proving in terms of just doing. You know what I mean? Take a wrong turn, talking all night. Oh my gosh. I literally was doing this last night, okay? So like I too egoically am learning this. Like this is what we are in turn of learning right now, is how to work with other people in way of their own ego, desire, fulfilling their own life. allowing you to do, like, it's something about trusting that other people outside of you will be able to fulfill their life, their desires, everything, and taking the focus from the people outside of you and like putting it into you and the trust, okay? That's what will be in placement of where you're still caring for these people. You're not like literally leaving them, abandoning them, because there's some kind of abandonment wound that I keep kind of going over. And it's something about how this is you not abandoning yourself. And it's so cool because this is allowing yourself to really feel like, oh yeah, I do have it in control. Huh. And it's some kind of like hold that you're like, it feels so much easier to breathe, eat, and sleep. You know what I mean? And it's hanging on your tongue. Tip of the tongue. What do you need to say? Tip of the tongue. Fingertips on the edge, y'all. Literally, tip of the tongue, fingertips on the edge. I did also like talk about the arm and the bone and the hands, the fingertips are like on the end, right? So fingertips on the edge. It almost makes me visualize that poster with the kitten where it's like barely hanging in there, and it's like my arm is like the branch and my little like finger right here is like the kitten's claw, and the kitten is like literally trying to hang on for dear life. And there's something about how you yourself, when you get in those moments, it's okay to be in. It's a place for you in the wise mind way to patiently approach, because it's like a lion who's really scared, really reactive. But the way that you approach in this kind of wise, patient way is allowing the lion to feel safe. And it's like the natural instinct to lash out and to like harm, if you will, or because it's defending for the lion, okay? That's like the thing is like when you think in terms of the outside harming you, it previously, before that, you believed in turn that you were unsafe and like an unsafe advantage. And so it's not like you're asking for it, because it's something where we are conditioned. We grow up in this, you know, and it's our way where we're experiencing life and we're kind of maturing in our intuition, maturing in the practice of day to day, who we are truly and like forever, and then who we are in the moment as we adapt through the chaos of change. It's all good, you know what I mean? Like we all crazy, we all insane. And you know how we get from insane to sane? We go within and we find out, what are we believing in the way of insanity that keeps coming out? You know what I mean? And it keeps attracting. And so it's like taking a step back and you're like, oh, it's no big deal. You're like, here is some new beliefs. Yeah, because like there's new, right? This is what I love about new. It is scary because you're like, you don't know if it's going to be safe or unsafe, you know what I mean? But it's something about, all right, intuition is so nice in this way because it will help you in the foreshadowing, if you will, where you have the superpower of detecting. But it's like detecting within you. It's like that feeling way of perceiving things, and then the realistic, logistical, in the moment as you mature through life, perceiving things, if you will. So it's like in the short run and in the long run. But you think I can't see. Yeah. I totally got like, yeah, like a rush of fear, y'all. Because it's something about how the way that you are in the way of anger right now, and it's totally fair, it's uncomfortable. It's something where it's like you matured, where physically you matured, and it's like your emotions are a lot more, because also as you age, you get more familiar, if you will, with you. And it's like something about this thing in my mind just went through as the world around you is unfamiliar. Those around you are unfamiliar. Where you're like not feeling that, I don't know. Yeah, like that resonation, that resonating kind of energy, understanding that like the way that you live your life is also resonating with others around you in way of them living life. And it's something about how romance, right? The very thing about it is love. The very kind of seed of it is love. And this is how those outside of you can help you realize the love of who you are in turn of bringing to life. Y'all, the strength card just fell on the floor, and that was the card I was talking about. Ah, you see this? That's the lion. You see that lion? Oh, look at the patience. I'm pursing my lips in perseverance. You know what I mean? I gave her that. Right? So it's like not eight, 7 of wands, and then temperance. Okay. So like definitely perspective, your mind and handling your mind matter. Where it's like mind over matter, you know what I mean? And you're like, what the heck's happening? You know, because it's something about things change. You feel the energy of others changing, but they ain't changing. They haven't changed their, like, I don't know, like it's something about they haven't changed the way they are gifting you their presence, or something about, it might be something about also either that and or they like see that you are changing yourself in the way of honoring yourself. And there's something where, yeah, it's like kind of people who are a bit more conditional, if you will, with people in their life. Something about how this is for you to see and way of also taking control, where the privilege of being in your life is that where you choose who you want to have in your life. And it's something where everyone has this beautiful right of it. And it's something about how it's not that you need to like abandon people. It's not that you really need to like ever cut anyone out of your life, especially if you connected with love in the very beginning. It's something about separation makes the heart grow fonder. So it's this whole thing where right now your heart, and I totally get it, right? Like your heart is restructuring in the way of the 7 of wands, temperance, the emotional and the logistical, how you feel, and then how you logically think, if you will. Oh, how you rationalize, there you go, how you rationalize outside matter and matching it with like the inside feeling matter of your belief system, your opinion, what you can control. And there's of course the strength, which is your anger is a really great part of you in way of impulsivity, why you really want to go, why you're frustrated, because it's like you want to better your life. Yes, I want you to better your life, but somehow you're like, people around me are not bettering themselves. Yo, me too. It's something where it's like not your job though. It's not my job to be judging others. It's my job to be looking at myself in the way of critique. Okay. Abandonment issues, there's something about in relation. Criticizing is something where it's not from the need of wanting to make others suffer. It's from the need of wanting to be comfortable, where it is more so because I'm kind of like, Not that it's something about reshaping the way that you criticize, where it's like constructive criticism, okay? And there's something about how on the outside, when it comes to other people and you want to criticize constructively, that's when it's something about only when there is construction kind of happening. And I'm getting it's from outside of you in the chaos, and how it is that it's deconstructing your identity. Because there's something about how you're tied to your identity is also, it's like getting kind of like in knots due to other people trying to change the way that like what is really going on. Because it's something about how also this, like, it's uncomfortable for me really, because I try to be honest and truthful with others, but others don't have to be honest and truthful with you. And there's something about how it might feel like you're abandoning yourself, or you're abandoning other people and other dependents that you're caretaking in these kind of situations. But in the whole grand scheme of things, you're abandoning yourself in the very beginning. And there's something about how handling the matter in way with the criticism, asking yourself at the very beginning, right, with these kind of critical thoughts that come to your mind, because that's where the low self-esteem comes in. That's where the insecurities come in. And that's where it is you believe that you are not good enough in turn because outside of you is not good enough. Okay, here's the thing. You match outside exactly how the outside needs you to see what is going on within you. Dang, that's so cool. That's so cool. Because, yo, life is school, okay? Like, we are going to always be learning about ourselves. That's the gift of life, is our experience of living life as who we are and showing the world. It might be scary. There's going to be a lot of opinions about how the world sees you. Know that it's all silly matter, and that you are a very serious person. You're a very serious part of matter. And when you realize this, it's like taking back a lot within your mind and the way you perceive the Seven of Wands, of how to gain back control of your reality. Because your mind and the way you perceive yourself in reality is so important. To dream about the undead often represents people who are blindly following others in feelings about not being able to think for yourself. Ooh, okay, so I was listening to a song at the gym, and I'd be, standing on, I'd be standing on my pride. Let me tell you, yeah, I'm boastful, okay, you know what I mean? Something about that boastfulness is, it's like this interesting perception of voicing your self in a way of, yeah, like you know you're different. You don't mind others seeing you different. You don't mind expressing yourself, like, you know what I mean? Even like talking to yourself out loud with others around you and everything. It's this perception and way of other people thinking that what they think of other people matter at all. In reality, it does not. It's something where it's like best to forgive. You know what I mean? Best to forgive, compost whatever that is into loving yourself even more, into shining the gift of who you are, my friend. Like, I can't wait to see more of this because, oof, yes, baby. Like, we're all in this together. We're going through journeys so much so, and our paths cross. That's how it is that we get connected, learning about life and way of cohabitation, so that in turn of life, it's going to be able to get back to that kind of love-based perspective compared to the, still convincing yourself that fear-based perspective is necessary when if you're able to allow your self-esteem to rise, your insecurities to be forgiven, and to find more security in your own authentic self, that's it. All that will figure out in way of how you can show the world this beautiful, beautiful opportunities every single day. How you show up, right? How you show up to others. The first kind of, visual, the first kind of, feel of your aura, you know what I mean? When people see you coming into the room, even if they know you forever, you can always make people like do a double take, triple take, you know what I mean? Just to see if that's really you. And it's from your choice of like how you want to change yourself. Like, I really can't wait in way of how you change yourself, because how you change yourself is up to you. That's the ultimate power of self, is I really can't change who you are. You choose to change. And so I'm hoping you can get that. You know what I mean? There's going to be some free change in the gift. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, yes. What you bring to the table, I can't wait, baby. These items and dreams reflect feelings about receiving special treatment or feeling like you are seen as special to someone. When you go into the room and you're like, I am so amazing. I'm a miracle walking on earth, and so is everyone else. They will feel that. There's something about adding in also everyone else in this, where it's not just you realizing you're a miracle, you realizing that everyone around you outside is a miracle as well. It's within and without and within, as above, so below. That's so fun. I love that. Okay. To dream about a garden means that something meaningful is happening in your life, or that you are learning or cultivating new skills and relationships. So this is a really great way, right, to compost anger, frustration, and your connections now. Something about right now, especially if you want to in the future be honest with people, where you might have had confrontation, frustration, where you're like, it's like contradicting opinions, where you beefed with someone, if you will, ego v ego. There's something about the miraculous way to admit your faults and to say that you are working on changing in way of success where you did falter before. And this is something where it's admirable in terms of character, in turn also of leader too, where you're able to also show other people that how you're handling your life is really nice. They're like, man, I like that. You're very easy in this truthful matter. You're very easy in way of also showing that admitting to one's faults is not going to destroy me ultimately, end my life. No, it's going to make me feel a lot more proud of what I'm putting out there. You know what I mean? The Six of Pentacles, right? Definitely those on the ground, right, are those outside of you where previously you had ego v ego. This is something about separation makes the heart grow fonder. You separating, refocusing on yourself, resorting your self-esteem beliefs, getting your self-esteem to rise, right? Where before you went into these different environments, ego v ego, if you will, your self-esteem was very, you know what I mean? It's that reminder from outside of other people and their opinion where they be forgetting. That is not the point of their existence. Period. And the point of their existence is for them and the way they choose to live life and handle it with other people. So you yourself are the leader standing above of those previously, where you're able to show them how to get through in way of releasing this type of feeling. I don't know if anyone's ever felt the Five of Cups. It's such an entrapment kind of feeling. Imagine that you are literally in the cellar, and that there is some heavy object over the door that will lead you out of the cellar. And this is something where you like literally cannot get out of unless that door is unblocked and it's open. So there's something about how this is a way for you to unblock and open the cellar, if you will, and allow yourself, because imagine there's like a tornado. I'm from Nebraska, and what I do when there's like a tornado around, or there's like, you know, a really intense storm, I go to the cellar, I go to the basement, where it's something about when you go underneath in the ground, if you will, and imagine your beliefs, right? You believe, you believe, you believe. It's like every day you stack beliefs on top. And it reminds me also of the Princess and the Pea. And it's so funny because it's like the pea that makes the princess just not able to sleep, like the eat, sleep, and breathe, is like the beliefs. And it's very small, right? It's like this small. This is agate stone, if you are wondering. But something like that, where it's like super incredible in a way, as you distance, as you resort, you come back and you're going to be able to help others find prosperity and find what it is that will help them gain the abundance of enjoying life again. Reminding them that it's no big deal to have tiffs and toughs. Allowing those involved in the tiffs and toughs be aware of what it is. I'm getting eventually where it's like you find that control in your emotional embodiment. The Nine of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is, if you will, the energy a little bit more immature than the Knight of Cups. The Nine of Cups is more so someone with a comfortable control of your intuition. And so when you get here, right, it's something where you are getting rewarded, if you will, from how you handle yourself emotionally. That's so cool. I love that, because it's kind of like, yeah, like you pass the test, right? And you get like an A or whatever, and your parent, if you will, which is you now. It's something about that also where you're like reparenting yourself. There's a stone also that I got recently. Oh man, I wish I knew what stone it was. Maybe I'll do like a haul or something and show you y'all. Because like there's something about inner child is really going to help in way, and inner teen emotional work, if you will, where it's things where you're so frustrated with how life has treated you. Of course, like you deserve and you have every right to be insulted. You have every right to just, are you kidding me? But there's something about how it steers and distracts you away from honoring who you are in the moment, because all the emotional animosity is energy in the now that you could put towards, right? You could put towards what it is that you're working very hard on handling. And that's where it is that you could do that. You know what I mean? There's the opportunity to do that. Change, right? So previously you were like, change happens from the outside to me. All right, the cup half empty perspective. So what if change happens because I've chose to change? That's like to allow yourself to kind of sink in, where you're taking control of history of your experience of existence in this life, how it's treated you, and how you want to handle it in way of balance and justice. The B and J, balance and justice. Kind of like chess board sort of thing, where you are the chess master and you always have been. It's that practice of getting into the mastery of self. And I believe that is also a book too. So if you do, I'm like I'm kind of like, yeah, but I'm also like hesitant. So I believe by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., maybe not, I don't know. But The Mastery of Self, if it is a book I'm thinking of, it's a really great transformation book where it's something about, yeah, just getting to know, if you will, how to have that cup half full perspective where things outside are not happening to you for the destruction of you in terms of your future being destroyed. It's things outside are happening for you for your future to be created, where it's like a gift and you give yourself that gift. The more that you choose to change in way of honoring yourself, the more that you're able to do that. And know that you can change in a slow way as well, a patient way. It's like within you, intuitively, that feeling. That's when you'll know when to change. With the Ace of Pentacles, that's like a start of a new change for yourself, where it's something to do on the outside. I don't know if it's like you do something different with your day, you do something different with interacting with people, something like that, where it's like the influence is different. It's like inspirational instead of just regretful. I get it though, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, the remorse. You know what I mean? Oh, the remorse. That's why you're like still with the Eight of Cups, with the whole walking away. It's like all these really great opportunities, all these really great ways of other emotions that you can feel. It's something about forgiving the remorsefulness of what has happened and allowing yourself to have the freedom of peace within. You are enough in this very moment. And just say, all right, oh, time to eat, breathe, and sleep. Let's go. Easy peasy, you know, walk away from the whole, you have to come, like it's something about what comes to you. You have to have your defenses up. It's allowing yourself to perceive that what comes towards you is like a gift from the spirit realm, if you will. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse, the Four of Cups upright, and then Death in reverse. So there's something about a people-pleasing habit where it's like you're picking up, right? And you're picking up on information that's not for you and your information, if you will. Because it's like this, it's like the thoughts, the beliefs, the opinions. That's what it is in terms of the Five of Swords and the Death in reverse, where it's like something about like, oh boy, you see that? That does not happen usually. It's like stopped by my thumb too. It's like this challenge that you're given in way of walking away from physical environments and getting back into your own. With what it is, okay, here it is. With what it is that you are currently transforming in the way of no longer picking up for other people and just picking up for yourself. And when it comes to other people and what happens for them, it's going to be their decision in the way that they have chose to decide to be. And, you know, harsh reality is, remember that it might feel harsh, but that is something that you can forgive. And it's not you in terms of it. We got quilt, queen, potato, and honey. You know how I was talking about hot potato? Yeah, hot potato. There's something about it, how it's like with the quilt, it makes me think of over time you would be, you would be like collecting memories, if you will, and you make a really beautiful quilt out of the memories. Like how quilts are made in turn, where you have it in the way in the future, and it's something where you can, curl up with when you're really, really cold, like your heart, when you're feeling that really icy cold treatment from other people. It's how can you give yourself the sweet, warm hug where you really want them to, and it's kind of like in the way of the give and receive. That's what if like the whole thing was harmonious, that's what they would be giving to, but it's the icy cold treatment that they're like giving. We got turtle, the whole slowing down and allowing yourself the patience and perseverance of sorting through matter in this. And it is something about also in the previous memories that you've lived, you experienced, it's going through you in the subconscious. And that's also in way of seeing if you have any past based memory beliefs that are influencing you to act, to be in the now a certain way. Bear, glove, and candle. I got taking off the glove. Something about with the bear coming out of hibernation. You're really hungry. Like the bear is hangry, right? Like hangry. So the eat, breathe, sleep. It might be also that you're hangry. And then the candle, burning the candle all night long. Burning the candle on both ends all night long. So there's something about this also understanding of where you're at within you, of when you get, if you will, triggered on the outside, what is the feeling you feel? Recognize it's absolutely an honor to feel this feeling. It's very important to be unconditional with it, compassionate with it, honor it with gratitude that it's coming up in the first place. And then release it in the now, allowing with trust that it goes wherever it needs to with the past and the future and tying of it, and you're good, you know what I mean? And it's something about with your mind and how it's going to be a lot less of a controlling feeling, a controlling perception, where you're able to take back control of your life, your story, what it is that you really do work so hard towards that, I can't wait to see in the future. More, baby. Yeah. All right. That is going to be the video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I really appreciate your time, energy, and effort of sticking through. And in the future, we'll just continue to see what the vibe is, what the energy is, and let's, just see where life flows and goes. But also where you go, because you are life, my friend. Yeah. All right. I'll see you in another video. Bye, everyone.